Ah, look at this. I'm so lucky. My wife got me these beautiful flowers for our anniversary, which is May 10th. Tomorrow, maybe we get to see this video. We've been together, been married 7 years, been together 10. Met her in Bulgaria, as you know. And anyway, I'm very happy. I can only wish all of you to find your soulmate. It is true. The soulmate does exist. Anyway, let's just go over here. Excuse me, bring it around here. Turn it around. See if we get PK in action. Maybe about there. Jeez. Very low-tech technology. Who cares? It's about what I'm going to talk about. Anyway, first of all, cigarette. Look, I know I should stop smoking, but I still love it, you know. And one of the things in the out-of-the-box lifestyle is still do the things you love. Don't forget, I go to the fitness 6 days a week, and you know, everyone in Europe, more than half the people in Europe smoke. Coffee bars, and maybe even if you've been. So I picked it up. I smoke about 10 cigarettes a day, but I love it. These Marlboro Silver, they're not so strong. You know, and the funny thing about it is here in Florida, it's funny to me how people will come to me and we'll go to restaurants before all this pandemic thing happened and tell me, you're strangers, people don't know. You know, you should quit smoking, it's bad for you, please put your cigarette out. And the thing is, very respectful. Smoke outside, you can't smoke inside, on the patio, try to stay away. And I find it very, you know, it's funny because it'd be like me telling them, hey, go on a diet, you're fat, you know, and you're very unhealthy. And we know 2/3 of the people here are overweight. But I would never do that. That's not my responsibility. They want to be fat pigs? Let them. I want to smoke outside when it's allowed. Of course, not many restaurants here will allow you outside usually, but some have a little smoking area, and that's where we go. Anyway, so PK here with Out of the Box, and what I'm going to talk about is traveling to Europe during the pandemic. Let's get loose the cigarette so I can talk. And also as an American, now I'll just give you a little background. We went last summer. I go every summer because I have my stepson and my mother-in-law. They're all from Sofia, Bulgaria, so we go every summer. But what about last summer during the height of the pandemic? How could me as an American get into Europe when they closed everything off, both directions? Well, it turns out I have, I call it a Disneyland e-ticket. For you old people, they don't have this anymore. You used to have A, B, C, D. E-ticket was for the most expensive rides. But the spouse of a EU citizen and immediate family member gets in. So, of course, we went last year. Last summer, I went for 2 months in July and August. And this was at the height of the pandemic. And of course, I'm going again next week, the 17th. And I'll be doing some videos. But I want to tell you, you know, what was it like? What was it really like last summer? And of course, I'll be doing updates. What was it really like during this whole thing? Remember, everyone thought last summer everything would come down. Well, it exploded here in America, and there actually they flattened the curve. It did go down, but let me tell you. Of course, they canceled all the flights. We had to take. There was only one flight from Miami. We had to fly to London, and what I want to tell you is that, of course, everything we saw on the television. I don't care what channel news you watch, Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, all the major media said last summer, okay, that forget about Europe, it's full disaster, you know, the beaches are closed, and I can tell you, none of this, it was true. Of course, I was a little bit worried. Remember here, the markets, no toilet paper, you go to the, but it was, so I was worried about all those things, but of course we went. And let me tell you, there's a saying, some words, I picked up, remember I lived in Bulgaria 12 years, so of course you can learn some phrases. I'm horrible at foreign languages, but what I want to tell you, for any of you who are Bulgarian, the whole thing was gluposti govorish, which just means total nonsense. What they told us here in the U.S. media was all wrong. Even the flight was unbelievable. Yes, it was 2/3 empty. London, it was empty. Nobody was wearing masks. We spent the night there and flew over to Sofia. What was it like? Let's see, what can I tell you? First of all, the people, nobody's wearing masks. Only the workers. Yes, at the airport, at the market, yes, but on the streets, you didn't see this. Number two, you didn't see any panic in the eyes of the people. Remember, in Europe, they don't have this political right, left. Remember Donald Trump they had none of that. It was just people there were very skeptical. There in Europe, it was all about getting the money from the EU, kind of like our bailout here. And the higher the number of the cases, the more money each country got. So there was none of this political shenanigans going on there. It was not a political issue. So this was a very pleasing thing. Then, so it got there. It felt normal. I mean, I couldn't believe it, how everything, felt like I was brainwashed on the TV from before I left. I was so actually worried. What happens? Spain and Greece. Everything's open. The beaches, Ibiza, the coast of Spain. And funny part was, all you needed, of course, you had to have a PCR test there. But you would think for leaving from America, there was no testing to get into the country. You know, if you're from that country. In my case, we went to Brazil, is Bulgaria. In fact, next week is going to be much worse, and you would think it should be the opposite. A lot of people are vaccinated here. Yes, Europe is behind the curve, but I want to tell you that I heard day after day, week after week, last June, that forget about Europe. That's a full disaster. The beaches are closed. I saw it with my own eyes. Not only did I see it with my own eyes, I went to Mykonos, Greece. It was 75% full the first week of August. Nobody wearing masks, no social distancing, none of these things that we've been listening to that said was happening over there. They opened Spain, they opened Ibiza, all these beaches, and of course all the people from the EU, it was close to Americans, about 75% full. It wasn't very far away from the disaster. So what I want to tell you is, I really had one of the best trips ever because I was so surprised. I felt normal for the first time. And what I wanted to mention, we're going again for 6 weeks, a week from Monday. Of course, it's still closed to Americans. They're talking about opening with your vaccination pass, all this craziness. Who knows if it's going to be true, what the reality is. But this time I got to get tested before we leave to get on. It's not the plane that's requiring it, it's the country. I'm taking Lufthansa, they were going this year. Then I got to get tested, of course. We're hoping to go to Greece when they get the schedule going in June. But the other thing is, then here in America, no matter, all Americans from an international area must be tested before they'll let you in. But you can make the argument, why didn't they do this last summer? They didn't have any of this testing requirement. So the whole point is that I'm hoping, like all of you, like all of us, they should open the travel. Now the big debate we know is about the passports. And are they going to force everyone to be vaccinated? Like I read here about the going on cruises and all sorts of things. But My personal opinion is I don't think this is going to happen. That people think. I was very scared of it. That you have to be vaccinated to prove to get on an airplane, to fly international. But Europe is behind. You could say they are much further behind than America. Right now, it is a disaster regarding the vaccinations rolling out in the different countries. But again, at least they're not lying about it. Everything's going to be open. In fact, they're trying to open to Americans to come to a few countries. Even now, Greece talking about it. So the point is PK traveled during the height of the pandemic. Everyone thought I was crazy. In fact, to summarize, it was probably the best traveling experience I've ever had on international travel. Artificially, of course, because the airports were empty, and Miami usually is packed. No line. The plane is 2/3 empty. So, in terms of the, going to the airport is always a grind. There you could then you could show up an hour, and again we're going next week. So we see what the difference. But I know because we talk to my wife talks to her son every day and her mom, and so we know there's no disaster. So. At least now they're saying there's full disaster regarding the vaccines, and this is true. But regarding the life, which is crystallized what I believe in, PK, it is out-of-the-box lifestyle. Think for yourself. You see, I don't watch the news, ever, especially when I came back last summer and felt I was fully brainwashed. Forget about here in America, what they talked about the war. They gave the impression that, Europe's screwed up, and even if you can get there, I can go, you can have a horrible time. I had the best time, really, I've ever, last summer, because it wasn't 100% full. Look, usually these places in Mykonos, the Greek Isles, Ibiza, Italy, they're all full. So, anyway, this PK here with the out-of-the-box episode is traveling to Europe during the pandemic. I did it last summer for 2 months. Great. No, it was easy. Now I'm going again. You already say I'm going to be blowing $600 for just testing. For what? But that's what it takes. Again, it's where the trading comes into play. Make some of that money, you got to spend it on something. Vacations, pay your bills. So I wish everybody, just trying to get this out to all the travelers. I'm hoping they're going to open this summer. The EU is meeting to talk about it. And let's just hope for the best. That's all they can think, because Europe wants American travelers. They want to open. Now, whether American they want them, it's a different story. I don't know. I don't follow them. I don't follow the politics. I only follow what's happening in Europe because I have a direct connection every day there. So anyway, this PK here. Wish everyone a great week. Hopefully we'll make some money this week on the trading. Let's see what happens. It's my anniversary tomorrow, Monday on the 10th. And everyone, have a great Sunday. Ciao. Oh, it's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all you mothers out there. Ciao, everybody.